What is up, everybody? My name is Logan Strom. Welcome to CTF Strom Talks Football. Today, I wanted to give you guys a list of 10 NFL players that I think are overrated. Now, these won't be in any particular order. It was kind of hard to pick which one was the most overrated. It's like there's a lot of just overrated players in general, and it's pretty mixed. So I'm just going to give you guys a list of overrated players in no order at all. There's actually a coach in here too, so I guess 9 players and 1 coach. Also, please try not to get mad at this. When I call a player overrated, that doesn't mean they're bad. I just don't think they're as good as they're hyped up to be. And try to have fun with the video. Like, don't get offended. But let's not waste any more time. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos whenever I post. All that out of the way, let's get started. Alright, before we start with the actual list, I wanted to give you guys one NFL player that would have definitely been on this list if it wasn't for how great he was in the playoffs, and that's Jalen Hurts. Now, I still think Jalen Hurts is a tad overrated just because he is way too hyped up, especially from Eagles fans. In the regular season, he's not that great, but it's the fact that every single time this dude is in the playoffs, he performs at an extremely high level, especially last year. And if you want to dig a little deeper, he's excellent in the Super Bowl whenever he's made it. The last 2 Super Bowls he's made, he's been an elite quarterback, so I really just cannot call him a top 10 overrated player anymore. Like he kind of reminds me of Mahomes, where he's like decent, like very average in the regular season, and when playoffs come around, that's when his shit is locked in. Like I admire that from Jalen. All right, now we're starting off with the list. The first one we've got is Raheem Mostert. He is now on the Raiders. In this one, Raheem Mostert's not really the problem. I'm actually a really big fan of Raheem Mostert. I think he's a great guy, and I still think he's a decent player. It's mostly the football fans with this one, and even they're not that intolerable with this, but there's still a lot of people out there that think Raheem Mostert is still like an underrated running back, and when we've watched him play like the last couple seasons, other than one with the Dolphins, like he's just there for the ride. Like, I don't think he's that great anymore. Simply put, I just don't think he's as good as what people say he is right now. Like, people still think he's like a top 20 running back, and I just don't think that's the case. Like, he got outproduced in Miami, and yes, he's going to the Raiders, but he's going to get outproduced there because, like, why would they run him a lot if they're going to have Ashton Genty? I absolutely love Raheem Mostert, but I would not be shocked if this was his last season of his career. And even though he's still decent, I just think he's still a little overrated. Next player we've got is Shedeur Sanders of the Cleveland Browns. Now, don't be coming at me with the angry comments or asking me, Logan, how are you putting him in the top 10 most overrated if he hasn't even played a game yet? It's simply the fact that people are hyping this man up to be like the next Tom Brady. Like, people are talking up this dude, especially Mel Kiper. Like, he's been all over Shedeur's dick like the last 2 weeks. People are hyping this man up to be like the next coming of Jesus Christ. And plus, if you watch his college highlights or if you watch his interviews, all you're going to find out is that he doesn't throw as well as people say he does. Like, he's very overrated in that aspect. And then when you watch his interviews, like, you're just going to find out why he got dropped down so low. He's an arrogant tool bag, dude. Like, he's just an arrogant tool. Like, I just don't get the hype around him. Like, he's just not that good. And people are talking about him like he's the best college QB to come out of college this year. Absolutely not. Like, yes, he's good. I will say he is very talented. He is a good quarterback. But if you watch his highlights, I think 4 quarterbacks in this draft were better than him. I'll check back to this when the season starts and we're very fairly well in the season. I could eat a lot of shit for this take. I just do not like Shedeur Sanders, and I just think he's extremely overrated. Up next, we've got Deebo Samuel. I think this one's going to be one that a lot of people will agree with me on, at least I hope. Do I think this guy's a lot of talent? Absolutely. Like, he's shown it, like, almost every year of his career. But is he consistent and he's, like, consistently healthy for his seasons? Absolutely not. And plus, this season really proved me one thing about Deebo is that I think he's just lazy, and I just think he needs to be motivated to, like, want to play at his highest potential. Like, if he doesn't like how the situation is going, he's just not going to give a shit about how he plays on the field. Like, that alone just makes me not like the guy. So Washington better hope he comes out to being really good like he was in 2021. If he comes out to be the same Deebo we had last year, Washington's going to have some serious issues. I still think Deebo's extremely talented, but I think he's a tool, and I think he's extremely overrated. Up next, we've got Jair Alexander out of the Green Bay Packers. Simply put, he's an injury-prone, washed-up corner that still talks him up to being the best corner in the league. Like, that's just simply how I put it. Like, dude's not even top 10 anymore, and Packers fans and Jair himself still talk him up to being like one of the best corners in the league still, and that's simply not the case. I still think he's a talented corner. I still think he's a good player, but like the last few years, like look at any of his games and watch him get torched by any sort of wide receiver. Like this dude gets fried nowadays. Here's a good example. Go look at the Packers versus the Eagles Brazil game last year. He got absolutely fried by A.J. Brown. I know A.J. Brown's one of the best receivers in the league, but if he's supposed to be this like absolute elite corner that he talks him up to be, he would know how to keep up with the big boys. And plus, like just like a lot of the players on this list, non-coincidentally, he's a tool bag. Like I just basically explained it at the start of this. Like he's an absolute tool. He's an idiot that really talks him up to being one of the best, and that's just not the case. If I can find one simple word to describe Jair Alexander right now, that would absolutely be overrated. Alright, this next one, I might face some criminal charges for. I know people will disagree with me on this one, but hear me out. Next, I've got Trent Williams out of the 49ers. Do I still think he's a great tackle? Absolutely, but I don't think he's the best tackle anymore, and people just extremely overhyped this guy still. Especially look at last season. Like when he played, he looked so out of shape, and he just wasn't the same. And plus, he just didn't seem motivated, like at all. I already know what people are going to say. Oh, he was injured. Yeah, he's injured all the time. That never stopped him in the past. I still think he's good. I just don't think he's that good anymore. Like, he's just old, man. Like, he's not, like, super washed. It's just, like, he's just nowhere near as good as he used to be. And people are just having a hard time accepting it. Like I said, still think he's good, but I think he's extremely overrated. Next, we've got the one and only coach on this list, and that is Mike Tomlin out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I already know what people are going to say. He's one of the best coaches in the league statistically when it comes to winning seasons, and yes, I absolutely agree with that. Nothing's going to basically argue that. He is a really good coach. I'm not saying he's a bad coach at all. But when it comes to him being the coach for the Steelers, I think his time has been up for years now. Like, dude, it's been the same thing, like, the last 4 years. Like, oh, it's going to be a 9-8 to 10-7 record every single year, and that's the best we're going to be. And then when it comes to playoff time, he doesn't do shit. I think it's great that Mike Tomlin's able to get this team to, like, 9 to 10 wins every year. But what's not awesome is that they're not doing anything with it. Like, it's been the bare minimum. Like, every single time they think they're going to, like, rise up and be better than what they once were, they just end up being the same. Like, look at last year. 10-7, for a while they looked really good, and myself included. I thought they were a great team. But when it came to the last couple games plus playoffs, they didn't do shit, and Mike Tomlin just stuck with the same thing he's done like the last 8 years. My personal opinion, I think he should have gotten fired in 2018. He's a great coach, but I think he's an extremely overrated coach. Next player I've got is from the Seattle Seahawks. It is Kenneth Walker. I will say this, he is absolutely great when he's on the field, but that's the thing. That's when he is on the field, because he's never on the field. Like, he's never able to play. He's always hurt, and people still talk about him like he's a top 10 running back, and I just don't think that's the case one bit. Like, it seems like he only plays 6 to 7 games a season. Like, he's just never available, like, at all. He's always hurt. Yes, he's very talented, but he's just never on the field. And like I said, Seahawks fans especially talk this guy up like he's a great running back, like one of the best running backs in the league, and I don't think that at all. And what does that make an overhyped player that's always hurt called? They're called overrated. Next, we've got Kyle Pitts out of the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I already know what people are going to say. Oh, just wait for him to have a breakout season. He's going to prove everybody wrong. I'm still waiting. It's been 4 to 5 years, and I'm still waiting for that magical season. It hasn't happened yet. Like, that's the biggest problem with Kyle Pitts. People keep talking him up like he's just going to have this bounce-back amazing season, and it's been like that for, like, the last 4 to 5 years. Like, I'm starting to think it's never going to happen. And a lot of people, including myself in the past, were blaming the Falcons for this. And for a while, yeah, I agreed, because they really didn't know how to use their players. And then once Bijan and Drake London started to find success, I started to realize that Kyle Pitts is not as good as what people say he is, like at all. Especially the fact that he got drafted 4th overall in the 2021 draft. I'll change my mind when he finally has this magical season that we're waiting for, but for now, I think the dude's overrated. Up next, we've got Tua Tagovailoa from the Dolphins. If I said that correctly, give me a high five in the comments. Look, man, this one was a really hard one to put on this list because I'm a big fan of Tua. I think he's a decent quarterback, but when you think of him, like, you're not going to think about the talent that he has on the field and the, like, very accurate deep ball arm that he has. You're going to think about him as the guy that always has concussions, the guy that just cannot play in the cold, the guy that just cannot play in the playoffs, and the guy that just cannot beat a team over 500. Like, that's the first thing you're going to think about when you think of Tua. Now, it's not all his fault. Like, there's a huge part of, like, the coaching and the rest of the team that's faulted for this, but he plays a big part of it. Like, the fact that he can't play in the cold, plus in the playoffs, and then even teams over 500 is a huge issue, especially for a team that's trying to make it farther than as far as what fans say they will. So simply put, I think he's a talented quarterback, but I just think he's overrated. And finally, we've got probably the best for last. I think I saved this one for best for last. We've got George Pickens now on the Dallas Cowboys. Not only do I think he's one of the most overrated players in the league, I think he's one of the biggest tool bags in the league. Like, it's not even close. Like, there's so many red flags with this dude, it's insane. Like, yes, he has an extremely great amount of talent. Like, he has great hands. He's a speedy little dude, but the fact is he has to be motivated to want to play. Like, if he doesn't like a situation, he's going to bitch, and he's basically going to put in no effort. There's tons of plays he's had where he's put in, like, 0 effort because he's pissed off. And plus, there are many times that George Pickens has acted like this, and Mike Tomlin has basically spoke with the media saying that he's acted childish, and they're trying to work with him. And, like, it just hasn't worked, obviously, because they obviously traded him to Dallas for a big reason. Like, if it wasn't for his arrogance, he'd still be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Like, he would not be on Dallas right now, but he's arrogant, so they wanted to get rid of him. And people talk this guy up like he's a top 10, like, wide receiver. Like, people talk this guy up to be, like, one of the greatest talents in the league. And the people that say that, I think, are on, like, the strongest drugs, like, you can find. Do I think he's talented? Yes, but I don't even think this guy's top 20. Like, are you kidding me? We'll see how he does in Dallas, but I'm just going to say for now, and probably the rest of his career, I think he's an arrogant tool bag that has always remained arrogant ever since he was in college, and I've always thought this dude was overrated. And there you guys have it. That was me giving you guys 9 players, including a coach. Overrated players and coaches I think are in the league right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments, and also let me know any players or coaches that you think I left off. In the meantime, that's where I'm going to be done for the day. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on notification bells so you don't miss any of my videos whenever I post. I'm Logan Sharon. I'll see you next time.